Hi, this is Justin Madders back again with my weekly video updates. I've had a couple of weeks off, but Parliament's back now, and yes, there's been a few things happening whilst we've been away. I'll start first of all with the assisted dying bill, which was debated last week. It was a private member's bill, which means that there was no party whip on it, and each member was able to make up their own mind as their conscience and the evidence before them dictated. Now, I've heard a lot of very distressing stories about people who've had to help their loved ones through very painful illnesses before they've died. I was very sympathetic to that, but in terms of the bill that was before us, I was not convinced the safeguards were sufficient. And I was also concerned about some of the potential impacts about how our society would begin to treat the elderly and infirm in the future, particularly when there are inequalities in palliative care, and also at a time when some life-prolonging and saving treatments are being rationed on the NHS. It's a very difficult decision, and I know that not everyone will agree with it, but I decided in the end to vote against the bill. I also voted against the trade union bill, which went through Parliament the other day. That represents an unprecedented attack on ordinary people in this country, as it will try and make trade unions very restricted in what they can do in terms of industrial action. I will always defend the right for people to strike, and there's no doubt that a lot of international labour organisations who monitor fair practice and fair play around the world are extremely concerned by the impact of the trade union bill. Unfortunately, the government carried the day with that, and I've no doubt that this represents an ideological assault on the trade unions and labour movement, and is completely unnecessary. We've also had legislation to enforce the reductions in tax credits, which again the government won, despite there being some Conservatives who felt that they couldn't support it. Again, this is going to have significant impacts for many people in this country. Some families are going to lose £2,000 from their income overnight, and that's going to come in next April. And I think people have quite really realised what's going to hit them yet. Although I know some Conservatives worried, they still voted it through. So no doubt that is something that we are going to return to in the future. And of course, I shouldn't finish without mentioning our change of leader. Congratulations to Jeremy Corbyn. I didn't vote for him, but I'm happy to support him because he's got an overwhelming mandate from our membership, and some of the things he's saying about doing politics differently really appealed to me, and the real appeal, I think, to a lot of young people who have been disconnected and disengaged from politics for a long time. So I wish him well. I hope he is going to be a success. I hope that he can build on the great enthusiasm his campaign has brought. And I'd also like to congratulate Tom Watson, who we know is a good friend to Ellesmere Portneston, who is now the deputy leader of the Labour Party. Again, I think he's got some great ideas, and I think he's going to work very well with Jeremy to harness some of the enthusiasm that we've seen over the last few months. So I'll be back every week now. We're back in Parliament, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you.